Welcome back, friends. I'm so happy to have you here. In fact, it's an absolute honor to have you here. I hope you all know that. So I'm just going to recap my insulating choices for my Sprinter. It started off with this carpet. And I'm not going to show a whole lot of this because it was my nightmare of trying to remove that carpet. I really panicked. When I tried heating the van, and it didn't get really warm, I panicked and thought, this is not a good insulator. There is no point of this being here. It's just going to be a problem. And I really jumped the gun and tried to remove the carpet. But I did find out after that it is actually a really good sound barrier. It was a very expensive carpet that is mold and mildew resistant. It's used in sound rooms. It's used in damp basements because it is mold and mildew resistant and because of that good backer on it that actually worked as a noise barrier. So I quickly, after doing 2 strips, I quit. And you'll see we simply go over top of the rest of it. Now, here we are on the section that I did get stripped. Thanks to my son coming out and helping me for a few minutes one day as well. Having somebody pull on that carpet while I was chiseling away and vice versa, it was a hell. But I'm glad we skipped the rest of it. We'd still be doing it, I swear. So right here, though, I've got my foam board. Now, where the carpet is removed, I'm using 1.5 inches. And I am using, I believe it's called a PL Extreme, and it's an adhesive construction glue. It says right on it, it is good for foam board and metal and wood and all the good stuff. So this is the one we went with, and I like that it was a fast tack. So yes, we had to use some boards in certain spots where it was a big piece, but overall it stuck in place pretty quickly. A few pushes on there, some extra muscle from the husband, and we got it up into place really quickly. So you can see it goes in using one of those applicator gun things. There is a bigger tube as well, but we didn't have the device for that one. So we simply got it glued on there. We went totally around the edge as a, kind of barrier, let's say, and then a few extra squiggles in the middle. And then we push it up into place. Now, I tried to cut them that it was very, very snug, that we actually had to pound it up into place, just because then there was less cracks to fill in after. So you can see here, we're just giving an extra squish, making sure it's staying in there. There's also a little lip there where the high top is on the van. And if you can get your piece of foam to sit down in there nicely, that's always a good thing too. So here it is. We had them dry fitted in there first just to make sure they're going to fit before we put the glue. Thought that'd be a little less messy. So that's what we're doing here. Now we're going to skip across, once we get that one panel done, to our next step, which is very messy. I got to say, it's really messy. Now, maybe with more time and more practice, it wouldn't be quite as messy, but this was very messy, at least for me. So we put down a drop sheet, which happened to be a dollar store tablecloth because I had a few of them for crafting. And my husband's got the spray foam. I really wanted to do it, but he felt like he needed to show me how it's done. I appreciate the help. I'm not complaining. But this part looked a little fun. So we're going into all the cracks and we're filling it in. Now, we did make sure that we got the one for cracks and seals, not the one for big gaps, because it would have expanded way too much. And they also say that if you use the wrong one, that sometimes it can actually expand too much and twist the metal of the outside of the van. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I heard. So I made sure to go with the thin gap one. And we went literally across every single crack or join that we had in the foam. See, he's not letting me play. He's doing the fun stuff, or so I thought. So here we are. I've got another board to stick up. And I'm struggling with this gun. This adhesive is really thick, and I have a little of arthritis in my knuckles. So I got it done, but a new tube is harder to use than once you're halfway through the tube. I'm just warning you. It's thick stuff. Now, for some reason, though, putting that foam to the wall, I found that to actually be quite exciting. Every piece that I got up there, all I kept thinking is I am one step closer to not only traveling and hopefully experiencing all kinds of wonderful things. But I'm also one step closer to doing the fun and pretty stuff inside the van, and I really can't wait because I have big ideas for it. Lots of crafting going on to make this gorgeous. So I'm really looking forward to it. Now, as we were pounding this board in, because it was so snug, it was pulling that top one down a little bit. So it was a good thing that there was both of us there for that part, because I kind of had to jam the top one upwards while he was fitting that one in. Now, because it's so tight, we actually took that nozzle of the spray foam and squished it in between those boards, because even though it's a really tight seal there, we know in behind it there's going to be that little bit of gap. And I really just didn't want any air and moisture back there. So we're literally pushing our way through that foam and squirting it all in behind the foam corners there. Just, I don't know if it was, excessive or if it was necessary, but it's done. I'm happy. There we go. Looking good. Now the husband has taken over again. I think he enjoyed doing this. I'm just saying. I really think he liked doing this because I didn't get my hands on that gun too many times. Okay, so we're going to quickly move along from applying the pink boards. They are all done throughout the entire van, I'm very happy to say. Then we went into the ribbing. That's what I call it. It's like ribs of the van up top, I'm assuming. I don't know. It's a channel. I don't know. It's a support channel, probably. I don't know what the right term is. If you know the term, drop it in the comments. I would love to know what is the right term for that rib cage up there. Anyways, in that cage, there are these little air holes. And so we thought, what a great way to insulate inside there, because those were very, very cold. So we took the small crack spray foam and tried to blow it up in there. Now, the thing is, you can't get down into the sides because there's not holes all the way along. And I don't want to drill a whole bunch of holes because I assume that's going to make it weaker. So we ended up getting this flexible nylon hose from Home Depot. And it's a 1/4 inch and it just slides right over the straw. And then you can squeeze it up in the hole there. You can see Chris doing it there. And he can push it all the way over to the wall. And then when it starts spraying in, we can hear the difference of when it gets closer and closer to the hole that we're at. Or sometimes the next hole will start expanding and leaking out. So you do got to keep an eye on it, because if you give it a little too much oomph, you're going to have a lot of dripping going on. There's a lot of dripping. Anyways, there's a whole other video on that. Now, after that, and it's all hardened up, we're going to grab some of that pink foam, and it's just thin, really thin, probably 1/8 of an inch, and we covered up everything, all those metal, I don't know, ribs and skeleton. So now we're gone into Home Depot into town. Actually, we did this a few days earlier, but it makes more sense in the video to do it in this order. And I lost my husband, and I'm looking for my husband. He took off on me. He's actually already back here for grabbing some MDF boards. They're a 1/4 inch, I believe, MDF. They're a 4x8 sheet. That's what we're going to cover this whole thing up with. And we're having a little discussion right here as to, should we get 6 of them or should we get 8 of them? I think we went with 8. I think that was his final decision. So we're just grabbing these sheets and then we'll be on our way. Oh, we did have to grab some strapping as well. I think it's a 1/2 inch by 3 inch, and we're going to put that over top of that rib cage up top, for the lack of a better name. We're going to put that over top, and then we'll be able to get these boards up. But that's where we're at, guys. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to get to the pretty part. That's all. I just can't wait. How many of you have done a van build? Did you enjoy the insulating part? Does anyone enjoy that part? At first, it sounds like it's going to be okay, and it really doesn't take that long. And then you start, and you're starting to realize that it's not as quick as you really thought it was. It's that dry time. Anyways, thanks for watching. We're one step closer to that fun and pretty stuff, and I am so, so appreciative of you guys hanging out with me. I hope you're enjoying this. I will talk to you later. Have a great day, guys.